Hey everyone, Tapdawg here with Little Alchemist Helper. I unfortunately was recording and I realized my audio wasn't working, so I got about 5 minutes into my video for today and have to re-record. So, long story short, today's video is all about beginner's guide to heroics, understanding how to do this. I do have, for those of you guys who want to understand how to play heroics, you can watch this video. It's more aimed towards beginning it, understanding how it works, all that stuff. I have a video on my channel as well from about a year ago that's called Heroics Tips and Tricks. I recommend that one. I'll put a link in the description if you're a little bit more advanced or you want to know how to do better in heroics if you've been playing for a little while. But this video is going to focus more on introduction to heroics, how to play, prizes, things like that. So just wanted to give that little disclaimer here. So heroics is a special limited time event that happens every other week in the game, and you access it by going to the normal adventure portal. So I'm going to open that up here, and here we go. So you'll go to where you normally will play the events, the portal events up here. And instead of choosing the normal portal event, you're going to go to the heroic event. So the normal event lasts for 10 days at a time, and then you get 4 days off. The heroic event is 7 days on, 7 days off. So we're on day 2 right now, and that's why it shows 5 days left. So when you go in here, it will show you a picture of Anna, and it'll have an option to begin the trial. And I haven't updated this version of the game yet, but it actually will now show you that you're spending one of your 3 tickets. You have 3 tickets to use every single day. You do get gold every single battle, and then your best battle of the day is what you get for your score for the day. So you score, I don't know if I can show it here. Progress. Okay, so every opponent you beat, you get a heroic coin from. So for the first 10 bosses, it goes up numerically. So Anna, the first boss, you get 1 coin. Albert, you get 2. Pim, 3, so on and so forth. So you get to Ella here, and she gives you 10. Now there's 40 bosses in total, so it's just the first 10 bosses repeating 4 times. They do get progressively harder each new round. But once you beat Ella, the coins stay at 10 for all the bosses, meaning that at a maximum, if you were to beat all 40 bosses and beat Ella number 4, you would get 100, 200, 355 coins. So 355 coins is the maximum you can get per day. Now, you can play all 3 times and get that all 3 times, but it only takes your best score from the 3 attempts per day for the 7 days. So what that means, I think the maximum, let me do my quick calculator math, 355 times 7. So the people at the top are at, am I doing this right? 300, 200, 3, yeah, 355. So 2485 is the max score for people at the top. But for you guys, being able to beat just a couple bosses is great. So before we jump into how to play and the strategy and all that, let's look at the prizes that you can actually win from this. So at the very least, if you play at least 1 game during the week, you'll be able to get into Heroics Tier 8 here, which gives you 20 Heroics Skulls. This is the prize that you use to exchange for this is the award you get at the end of the week that you can exchange for prizes. Now, I don't play all that often. I play maybe 1 or 2 days of the week right now, and I usually can get between 400 to 600, between 40 to 60 skulls for that, so it's really not a long time investment. If I was to play all 7 days, I'd probably get up here to these 80 heroic skulls. So just to give you an idea, it's not too hard to climb these ranks. But once you get up here to tiers 4 and above, where it takes a little bit more effort, you actually, in addition to the skulls, you get onyx puzzle pieces, or onyx fragments is what they call them, and this is used to level up your onyx final form cards. So those that are in the top 20 actually get 400 skulls per week and 25 random onyx fragments. So it's a nice way to be able to level up your onyx cards, albeit very slowly. So you use these skulls, these heroic skulls, to buy prizes from the vault here. Now, there's a bunch of different prizes that you can spend them on. And I want to make it clear, never purchase these common boosters or these uncommon boosters. You'd be wasting roughly a week's worth of effort to get 12 dust. It's not worth it. So don't do that. Don't waste there. These rare Final Form cards are going to be the Final Form cards that you can get from the portal events. So you get those for free already. It's not worth wasting on here. Same thing for these rare combo cards. These are the portal combo cards. It's not worth it to spend on these when you get them for free. So the only three that I can potentially recommend would be the Diamond Final Form cards and the Onyx combo, but I would not buy Diamond Final Form card. If you're going to buy one, Final Form 2 is the better option because this one has the best critical strike in it, which is Monster Slayer, if I can find it in here. This one. And it also has all of the boss cards like Anna, which is another great card to have. But even with that being said, I don't think it's a good investment. It's not a good way to spend your skulls, especially when you're first starting out. Your best option is to actually save up your skulls so you can buy an Onyx combo card, the strongest cards in the game. This is the way to really help boost your account. If you're struggling to get into Masters, having an Onyx card is really going to help you get up there that much faster. So this is what you're going to want to do. It takes, when you first start playing the game, probably 6 to 12 months of playing Heroics every other week in order to have enough to get your first Onyx card. I know it's a long-term investment, but it's a good way to pay off, especially if you're free to play. It's going to be probably one of the only ways you'll get Onyx cards on a consistent basis is through Heroics. All right, so before we jump in here, we're actually going to go back to Edit Deck. So Heroics, how it works is you keep playing until you either run out of cards in your deck or you run out of health. Those are the only ways, or you beat all 40 bosses. But since you're a beginner, you're not going to be able to beat all 40 bosses. You'll be lucky to beat more than 3 or 4 of them. But when it comes to Heroics, you don't want to just play with your normal adventure deck. It's good, it's useful in some ways, but you do want to have a little bit more cards if you can and it makes sense. So I'm going to go over to my deck number 3 here. Now this deck, if I'm not mistaken, sort this by level. I have all of my fused cards in here, a lot of my level 4 cards, as you can see, level 4 cards. Then I have some level 3 cards in here as well, and some level 2s. I'm going to take those 2 level 2s out, and then I'm going to look in my library real quick and sort these by level just to see if there's any other cards I've got that I could add. I have Villain here, and I've got Food here that I can add to this deck. I think all these other cards are not leveled up. Let me sort this by attack real quick. I don't think I want to add any of those because none of them are strong, but let me sort by defense just to see. I do have this one. I will add that one to my account. Okay, so now this is all set. Before I go to Heroics, I'm actually going to switch to Healer for the very first boss, just to get my health up a little bit. And give me a second, my wife is calling me. All right, so let's go to the event. We're going to go to Heroics, and we're going to begin the trial. Now, I like to start with Healer on Anna because she's very easy to beat, and that way I can get my health up a little bit, because as I get to my next bosses, health is going to become more of an issue, and I'm going to be using my attack anyway. So I'll keep this hand. It's not an ideal hand, but I'll be able to do a big chunk of damage to Anna right away while still getting my health up. And I don't want to use all of my gold cards this early on, so I'm actually going to play it a little safe, hope I do enough damage, and I did, to get Anna's health down. So now she is gone. One of the things people don't know with heroics is you can click continue and it'll just keep battling, but you can actually push this back button and go back and change your alchemist type. I'm actually going to change my deck to deck 1. It doesn't change your deck, but now I'm back onto being an elementalist. I like to change my deck because that way if people play me in arena, they'll be playing my arena deck, not my heroics deck. Okay, so go back to heroics. Now we're on to boss 2. You can see I now have 1 coin because I beat Anna 1. And I'm actually currently getting 60 skulls for just playing that one battle. So we're going to play battle number 2 here against Albert. And you'll see he starts to get a lot harder than she was. I'm going to play this so that my orbs are filled. So now I'm going to do 5 damage at the start of every turn before any of my attacks actually happen. I'm going to try to get rid of this guy if I can. I don't have any good combos for him, so I think I'll just play this and hopefully beat Albert. Yeah, okay, so we're able to beat Albert now. So we're doing pretty well. We got 44 cards left. Well, I mean, technically 50 cards or so. But you can see we're going up now. We'll continue against Mr. Pym. So he is a elementalist, so he'll do some damage to me potentially. So I want to beat him fairly quickly if I can. I'm going to play this glass cannon to do a lot of damage to him. As you can see, he's a lot stronger than the last 2 opponents. He did some damage to me. So I have to be a little careful because he might kill me. But we're doing okay so far. We might have to switch to healer, though, on the next boss because our health is getting low. Okay, yeah, we're going to switch back to healer because we only have 16 health left. We want to play as long as we can. So I'm going to go back over here, edit my deck, and just switch to healer here. We'll go back to heroics now and battle boss number 4, Lucy. And I don't think that combos with anything, and this does, but it's a defensive combo, and she's a elementalist, so she's going to be doing damage to us, so we want to be able to get rid of her as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, she is playing defensive combos on us, so we've not been able to do any damage to her, but thankfully our health is slowly regenerating here. This is a tough Lucy. I might not be able to get too much further, but we'll see. You never know. Okay, so since this guy did a 17-13 with either of those, I wanted to see what Undead had as a stronger combo, so I didn't use the wrong combo with Golem. Okay, so she used a Reflect, so I did 8 damage to her, and she did the cheaper version of Counterattack, which is Reflect, so she did 4 damage back to me in that turn. I'm going to play a little bit of a glass cannon here just because she's playing such high defensive combos. This is part of the problem when you use healer is you really don't do too much damage, so you have to play a little bit more aggressively with your combos just to get their health down because you're not doing damage every turn. I think 1914 or 1913. I think I'd rather do this just so I can keep that void for a little bit later. I don't think I have any good combos for that. So now I can use that void here, and almost got her down. She's got 1 health left, and my own health is not doing that great. And none of these combos look like they're going to do all that much, so I'm going to just play my Great Wall to stall for a turn, get my health up a little bit. And there we go. There's a good combo. We got Lucy down, and I'm going to switch my health again back over to healer. It's a little bit risky, but you can see I'm now up to tier 5. I can reach tier 4 if I keep going, which means I now get 80 skulls for the week if I keep this rank. I don't know if I will because I don't think I'll play every day on this account. But again, your whole thing is you're wanting to get as far as you can, which I might end up losing right here, but we'll see. Don't really like my odds with that hand. I'd like to see if I can get another gold card, and I did. So again, I'm going to play this option. It's not as strong as the other ones, but it gets rid of a weaker card from my hand, so I'm happy with that. Same thing here. I only did 1 actual damage, but I had the other 5 that I did at that same time. And this might backfire. Okay, no, we did okay there. We just lost 6 health. But we might lose at the end of this one, unfortunately. So we only got one more turn, really, to beat them. I don't think we're going to be able to do that here, but we'll see. Okay. This is probably the end for us. Yep, that is the end. Unfortunate, but you know what? We beat 4 bosses. We did well. And I could play 2 more times and see if I can get further. Maybe I have better RNG with my bosses. But that's kind of it. You can choose to continue, but it costs 10 gems to continue. I don't think it's worth it, so I'm going to say no thanks. But at the end of that, I beat 4 bosses, so I get 40 coins. So if I only beat 4 bosses every single time, that's still 120 coins. That's enough for almost a pack, you know. Not too bad for just a couple minutes worth of playing. So you can come back, like I said, every single day. So you can play technically up to 21 times in a week, because 3 times a day, 7 days for that week. And it just takes your best score per day, puts them all up, and then you get ranked next to everyone else. You can look at the worldwide here. Day 2 just started, so you can see quite a few people have already started to progress on day 2, which gives you up to 710 as your score here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I am saving up until I can get an Onyx combo card. You can choose to potentially buy the Diamond Final Form 2 card, but I think it's a better long-term investment for the Onyx combo card. And then you get up to 3 turns a day. I would play all 3. It only takes a few minutes, and you do get coins, and you might surprise yourself how far you can get each time. Heroics does take several years to be able to get all 400 bosses completed. To give you just a generic idea, it takes about 250 cards in order to beat Heroics. Maybe a little bit less as you get more Onyx cards, and it might be a little bit more than that when you first are able to beat it. But ideally, you're looking at about 50 critical strike cards, or 50 final form cards, they're going to be critical strikes, and about 200 combo cards, primarily most of those being fused. You need a 4-to-1 ratio because long term, it takes 4 combo cards in order to fill your combo meter, and then you'll play your final form card. So a 4-to-1 ratio is the ideal option you're looking for. You'll play 2 turns, get your combo meter up. 3rd turn, you use your final form. And then you just rinse and repeat. And you can't be afraid of what the bosses will play against you. So, anywho, that's kind of my basics intro to Heroics. Like I said, if you want to learn a little bit more advanced tips and tricks and ways to improve your ranks and be able to get further, watch my Heroics tips and tricks video, which I'll link in the description of this video. But that being said, I do hope you have a good rest of your day, and take care.